Oh, we're live. I'm on sound desk.
And as you can tell, Jack is on the sound desk.
I'm on the sound desk. First, which Jack? The music is still blaring somewhere.
Jesus.
I think we're live.
It's all going off
It's all
tonight.
going off.
It's all
Smooth transition. This is
smooth sailing.
this is the Jack off. I'm Jack.
I'm also Jack. And we've got a special guest tonight, John.
We do.
Late night guest. Sir, mystery man revealed himself.
Good evening, everyone.
Oh.
My name is Ellis. I am a very proud friend of the Jack Off host here, and I'm here for the night. I'm here to chat. I'm actually here, if you don't mind, Jack, to tell a very inspirational story.
Are you for real?
Yeah, I want to.
No, I mean, are you fucking for real?
No, I want to tell a very important story now.
Okay, I'm very excited to hear this.
When I was in school and I met Santa Claus.
Oh!
You know, just being a young autistic student, just sitting there in its felt outfit, I just honestly felt like I was.
Oh, fuck.
The sound levels of the roof, Mitchell, whatever you left there.
I love
What?
The sound levels, they went, it says, the great thing is don't let the levels hit 10. They went fucking rocketing past 10, I'll tell you that. So our audio file is already fucked.
Lower my mic a bit.
It's okay, I'm just getting up there.
Yeah, I'm on Jack's mic tonight. I'm on the typical O'Grady mic. So I should be perfectly audible tonight. I can't really hear much through these headphones though either. So I hope to God, can you check Jack to make sure that I see if there's any correspondence?
Yeah, if anybody's, can a listener text me please?
Yeah, let us know what the audio is.
Can you hear us?
Yeah, can you hear us? Because pretty soon lads, you're going to see us. Would you believe we're going to hit you with a great factoid here?
I'm being told. Sorry, I'm being told to go closer to the mic, so I'm.
Okay, we must. Okay, wait. Okay, we're quiet. I'm gonna raise the audio levels.
Okay, raise yours up a little bit. Don't go over the black. Okay. And are we all too quiet? I wonder. Either way.
You're up to 5. That's an increase.
I would recommend that they turn up their own volume. How would that be?
Yeah.
No.
That's a recommendation.
I'm being told to go closer to the mic, so I'm
Closer.
Lift to the mic. I hope this is better.
And I can't even blame you for being on sound desk for this shambles. I am fully to blame. Kiss the mic.
I'm going to trust Jack Mitchell now to run this show.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what as well, lads. Would you believe I've fucked up the recording again? I'm using that word
pejoratively.
Oh, sorry, Mitchell. I'm just being told we've been fed lies. Listeners texted in saying, I can hear you loud and clear. You're not quiet at all. So maybe you were right, Jack. Maybe you should just turn up your volume for quiet.
If you can't hear us, check and see if your volume is at 2.
Or if people are saying, that's better, way better.
And these are Trinity students.
These are Trinity students. You know what, if we're too loud, they can turn it down. Isn't that it?
Sure, look.
Listen. Anyways, we should have a recording of in some form. We have a great setup. Like, I have a great old camera here, and the fucking thing hasn't worked again. And I now
see that tripod is in the way. That's blocking my face from view.
No. I can guarantee you.
All
the faces that people want to view are in. Trust me. They'll be happy enough with that. If you just rotate in a bit close to me, I'm sure you'll be grand.
Listen, I don't really mind if I'm not on the camera.
Okay, well,
you just need Mitchell. Mitchell makes the money here.
Money shot, there you go. But no, I have the phone balanced up on a swivel chair in the corner, up against the wall. It's a beautiful setup. It should work. Please God, and that's enough breaking of the fourth wall.
Ruining the immersion
setup. We have ruined it completely.
Well, we have poetry.
Yeah, you know what? You should have poetry, Jack. Because my poetry is on my phone that's recording the episode.
So we're a poem down, alright?
We're a poem down.
Listen,
will I make up a haiku while you're doing yours?
Yeah, do.
I'll make up a haiku.
I'll go first. No, there's a bit of chaos leading into this show. In the green room, there's a bit of chaos. Mitchell's scrambling for an SD card or a functioning camera. Functioning brain cell would have felt. Ooh. No, it's not his fault.
As an outsider coming in, I'm really impressed by how this is run and how it's being shown in the beautiful light that it is.
Yeah.
I always thought Trinity FM had this. Don't look at the man behind the curtain vibes.
Oh, God.
I've seen behind the curtain. And the man is very good looking. I'd be worried that he doesn't know where an SD card is.
Well, I looked high and low. Couldn't find anything.
Well, Jack, I want to hear your poetry.
So this poem is called The Green Room. And it's a bit of a soundscape, a bit of modern art of the room we were in before. Okay, so we have the green room. He's been silenced. He's been suppressed. Silenced on live radio. Irony. Anyways, the green room.
There's a bit of a dig there.
I feel attacked.
Oh,
goodness. Okay. The green room. Eat your skips there. I'll restart.
Oh, start again. Go
Start
on.
again. Eat your skips there, good man. The thunder that follows. Fuck. I literally just can't get in contact with anyone. I'll cough. Jack, do you want to chat about running order? What are we doing? What's the game plan? Fuck. I can't believe that. This is an absolute cunt, lads. He starts beating dogs. You've lapped up some shit from the floor in your time. This is ridiculous. A terrible angle.
Oh, that was almost like a script
Stream of consciousness.
last
Very easy.
5 minutes of scrambling. I'm one line away here. Just give me.
Ellis break down that poem.
I got a comment. I must admit that I didn't actually write this poem. This is actually from my childhood. It's a deep root poem that I heard as a child.
Sorry, that lightning is crazy. How did I get shot?
For audio listeners, which is all of you, with lightning outside,
And it's distracting Jack now. But this is the limerick that I've heard from my childhood. And it goes as follows. There was a young lady called Sally who took the fits of occasional dally. She sat on the lap of a well-endowed chap and cried, "Sir, you're right up my alley." And that works on two levels. You have alley, and you have the other part. So
What's the other part? What's the other part?
You don't even know I'll tell you when you're older.
I am the youngest member here. I'm the only one below 22 here.
That's it. That's not no achievement, Jack.
That's not.
I'm young. Both of you bearded men. Look at me.
I am not.
Slightly bearded.
I'm being told constantly by my friends to always show you I look terrible.
Well, I mustn't be one of your friends because I like it.
I've been told by many female friends.
All right,
I haven't got a face
sure.
for a beard.
They're only jealous.
I think they could be.
Okay,
Sure.
well,
They may be bearded, but I'm opening.
I've cooked up and out in the time you guys and myself even have been talking. I've cooked up a little haiku.
Sound good to you?
So, functioning brain cell. They are nowhere in this plane. Hexagon glasses.
Pointing at us.
They're actually not even hexagon.
Yeah. See, that was off radio because there was silence. You just pointed at us.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
radio isn't a very good visual format.
it's not, and that's good for me. But
Listen, tips to TFM.
I prefer the sound of hexagon glasses to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, septagon, octagon glasses.
Octagonal.
Octagon.
Octagon is a set.
I know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Jesus, I can't.
Jack is currently counting how many edges Ellis' glasses have for reference. Jack's a one-edged man.
I'm getting into the. I'm feeling what you usually feel in this chair. This is just terrible radio.
I know. and I've been saying this all the time. And you always say it's not announcing it to the world.
The man behind the curtain has been revealed, and it's just used to.
Anyways,
and it's a man by the name of Jack O'Grady. Jack O'Grady. Not to completely change the direction of this conversation, but I will. Commons update. We have an update for the people about our last excursion to Commons.
Right, well,
a beautiful update.
We'll keep this short. But basically, for those of you that weren't listening last week, basically myself and Jack Mitchell snuck into Commons, which is like a dinner, free food that scholars get. There was a CSC event on, so two people from each society were invited, and we thought, you know what, we'd make our way in and get a free food and a free pint. Free food, good English, thank you.
Singular free food.
Yes, a food. And
the brief tells the story again.
But so basically, long story short, we snuck in there, and we there was a nice 3 seats for us actually. The gang of us that went in, and we got. Oh, sorry, Jack.
I'm sorry. I've been picking something up off the table. I don't think I should have.
God knows what it is.
I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead, Jack. I'll tell the story a little bit.
Okay, but you want for piss?
Check the recording.
Oh, sorry.
I'm going for this.
Oh, yeah.
I've already missed Jack.
There's no window now.
Anyway, this is all for radio.
Go comments.
Yeah, so basically, long story short, that's the head of the CSC and the treasurer of CSC were meant to be in Commons. I ran into them later at a housing protest the next day, and I was laughing. I was like, "Oh yeah, do you hear?" Myself and Jack snuck in, and they were like, "Oh, it's gas, yeah." And then he was like to me, the head of CSC, he was like, oh yeah, no, I was like, were you there? And he was like, oh yeah, we were there, but we couldn't get a table, as they said they miscounted the amount of seats, and there was 2 seats that weren't. There were 2 seats short.
So there were 3 of us, but still.
But the worst thing about that is like I went up to them laughing and joking about it, and spamming group chats, being like, "Oh, this is class, we're funny." But listen, I'm sorry, Jax, I'm being confused here now.
You go ahead.
But yeah, so that's what happened. Basically, we're cunts at the end of the day.
No,
we're a good crack.
We pay enough fees. That's what I was saying with that.
We do. No harm robbing someone to a bit of food.
No harm, no foul. Plenty of hidden fees and charges in this college. Would you believe?
Listen,
loyal listener, if you went to the gym. And asked for if you were to go to the gym once each year, you could ask for the money back and just decline your membership and get the money back on that.
Is this
can you actually?
You get charged. Apparently, you are getting charged for a gym membership in the college. Like the so-called free gym membership is actually charged in your student fees. So if you go up each year, I think you can get an odd like 150 euro back. So if you did that every year, you'd be walking away with about 500 quid, I'd say, just on a gym membership. And I'd say there's a good few of you now are.
Never been
scratching your heads. Never been in the gym. I know. Everybody listens to this. Not a fucking hope you're in the gym, but
I'm not.
No.
I would say I've often seen Jack Mitchell in the gym. Every time he ignores me every time, and he's on there. He's like Shia LaBeouf with the headphones on, baseball cap on, head down, marching like he's going towards the gallows in that treadmill.
Yeah.
You do something on that treadmill.
I would, yeah. Back in the day, I haven't done it as much recently, but sure, Ellis, like
you're a fine man.
Ellis, I do believe you had a bit of a fall in the gym a while ago.
Yes, I had a horrible experience in the gym. I don't mind saying this.
Okay.
I believe anyone who knows the gym, Stairmaster. You know the Stairmaster?
Oh God.
Yeah, so, you know the Stairmaster?
I've seen
the Stairmaster is quite a disingenuous machine, because in that it lures you to a faulted security with the rails now, and you feel secure. And for those who don't know, you wear a tracksuit bottom to the gym. I wore a tracksuit bottom to this gym.
Great.
Great tracksuit bottoms. I forgot the underwear. I'm not gonna lie to this.
You knew exactly what you were doing.
I forgot the underwear, and sure didn't the old hem of the tracksuit bottom get caught in the toe of the shoe on the stair lift, and it exposed a supplement. It exposed a tasteful amount of arse cheek.
Oh my God, it was only arse cheek.
Only the left side. And it was only a moment. And
it's like, fuck, I didn't see your right.
I know, the right one's horrible. The left one, you could chisel bone off it.
Oh,
listen. And in my scrabble to maintain my modesty, the right foot got caught in the hem. So I was walking back and forth, alternating which arse cheek was being exposed to the gym behind me for a good 10 seconds before I used my chin to hit the emergency stop button. And when it stops. It's not moving. It is not moving for love nor money. And I want to be honest with you, I look back, there was a lot of downward glances, and no one
looked back, and everybody else looked forward.
No one could look me in the eye.
Oh Jesus, they were looking at a different eye.
No, they're looking at some kind of hole anyway.
Oh, that is unbelievable. The thing is, I can imagine that happening. And I'm glad, and I will imagine that for the rest of the show. You were exposed to hole on the Stairmaster. That's beautiful. I love that. Obviously, I don't like hearing that.
No, don't touch me.
To you. Sure.
I love it.
You weren't complaining before of the show?
No, I wasn't.
No, I weren't. An old high slap here and there.
An old
people. That's a beautiful story. I love that.
Yes.
Sorry, I eat that shit up.
I imagine I have a lot of embarrassing stories of myself. You know.
People often go to gyms to prepare for weddings.
Yeah.
Like what is this?
Jack, have you ever been to a wedding, Jack?
Oh, Ellis, you know what? Somehow I actually have been.
Is this the wedding you were at?
So, what?
Is this the wedding you were at?
This is the wedding I was at.
No way, this is the wedding you were at.
This is the wedding I was at.
No way. Who the fuck? Okay, like fine.
Yeah, you can, but don't read names.
I can't read the names.
Change names. The family wedding. I've got the mass booklet here now.
Am I allowed to read this out?
No, I'm reading it out. But you can read it, but no, you can...
This is so funny.
I feel like you can describe it.
Well, I'm looking at a Spanish wedding, like reception book, I believe, but it's anybody in computer studies in TY. Remember when you had to make those like little like Christmas cards and stuff like that? You fold an A4 page and forward. Like it looks like that a little bit.
God, I think a wedding's expensive enough without all that.
Wedding is expensive enough.
I would cut corners where you can.
I don't mean to be making fun fun, but
I
like.
don't be making fun.
But
Proceed.
wait, but I will continue to do so.
But Jack,
Carlos
Jennifer.
Mary.
Jennifer.
Carlos and Mary's wedding. That should give you a great. We have a beautiful. The image they chose for the front page was a selfie for their wedding manual.
Yeah, manual.
Manuel.
Listen,
That's his name. Is Manuel.
Listen. I'm going to take it off you for a second now. I'm going to read out the first reading of the wedding.
Who's related to you, Jack? Are you related to Carlos?
Mary.
You look like more Carlos.
Oh, it's because Carlos is a man.
Oh,
Right.
off.
So. Oh, that's a low. That's awful.
It's not true as well. It's not
awful.
true.
It's really not true, but that's fine.
It's funny that even when you're in a Spanish wedding, and this reading will demonstrate the values of Bogger Kerry still come true. And listeners will understand.
It was a Spanish wedding.
There is a Spanish-Irish kind of hybrid wedding.
So
the booklet is half Spanish, half English, and everything's translated. So,
like Macbeth.
So this is the first reading. Jack Richards dying.
You read like Macbeth.
So this is.
It's called Scottish.
So this is basically the English version. I'm gonna read it.
Please read the Spanish.
Then no one can get offended because no one speaks Spanish.
Can you read the English and I read the Spanish? I never learned a word of Spanish.
Right, but I'm not for you guys. You can read a bit from the Spanish.
I can read Spanish really quickly.
Okay. I'm reading from the book of Ecclesiastes. How do you say it?
Ecclesiastic.
Happy the husband of a really good wife. The number of his days will be doubled. A perfect wife is the joy of her husband. He will live out the years of his life in peace. A good wife is the best of portions, reserved for those who fear the Lord. Rich or poor, they will be glad of heart. Cheerful of face, whatever the season.
It's going good so far.
The grace of a wife will charm her husband. Her accomplishments will make him stronger. A silent wife is a gift from the Lord.
And now you've lost everyone. I know in particular, there's a few friends of mine, there's a group of girls that listen to here now. You are going to be absolutely fuming.
No price can be put on a well-trained character.
Well-trained?
A well-trained character? That's
a modest wife is a boon twice over.
Oh my God.
A chaste character cannot be weighed on scales. Like the sun rising over the mountain of the Lord is the beauty of a good wife in a well-kept house. The word of the Lord. Thanks be to God.
And then, fancy this. Yeah, and it says, written by Jack O'Grady.
The book of
I wish I was.
I'll give Carlos the benefit of the doubt, but that was just a terrible translation. Yeah.
It was quite.
Unfortunately, it was not.
Anyways. Escuchan estas. Suplica, Señor, derrama tu gracia sobre estos siervos tuyos. Almost
Are you doing the whole thing?
A Mary y Carlos para que quienes se unen junto a tu altar. Sean. There's a word it's just Sean.
It's a tribe.
It's a tribe. Sean fortalecidos en el amor mutuo. Like, I've never, I'm doing well now for a man that doesn't speak Spanish, you know.
But this isn't even correct.
Nobody wants to hear this.
This is awful radio. This is. You do.
Oh, sorry.
The stress of war would indicate it.
Sorry, yeah. The sweat on my brow would indicate it, actually.
This is not like a church. On the sweat on his arse through those grey pants.
I should show the back page to the camera there.
Show the front page. It's okay. You show the front page.
The front page would show the names, Jack.
That's true.
So the back page was.
Listen, and then I just got one more quick story about that wedding, right? Huh?
Before you go talking about more ring, I appreciate the picture of ring on the back of this.
One ring to rule them all.
2 rings.
Two rings.
A wedding is no good with 1 ring.
Jack, you had another story you wanted to say?
There was. I was just reading a wedding pamphlet here. Basically, in the wedding, after there are these things that launch confetti into the air, like a firework that launches confetti into the fire, and
Where's the work?
yeah. So basically, I was an usher, as was my brother. We'll call him Den.
Bear.
That's his pseudonym. What?
Your brother? I don't think you need to cover up your brother's name.
Well, I do.
Maybe it's safe to assume we can find
It's only a child, anything can happen to him.
Is that a treasure?
Who knows?
With Ellis around,
You're not a child.
Damaging.
If
But listen, as myself and Ned are standing outside the church, and we let off these kind of rocket things. Just not rockets, like these confetti shooters, just as the bride and walk out of the church, right? And this is a really nice church, really pristine base, and this is it's a bit tacky, it's gas crack. I loved it, but
really nice place, but
it's pristine, but tacky.
No. The church was not. I mean, the launching of the confetti was tacky because it ended up getting in the wife in their hair and everything, on the dress and everything. I kind of pointed mine a bit towards Ned.
Did she say nothing like a good wife?
She didn't. She said nothing. She stood there and smiled and waved like a penguin in Madagascar.
No hablo español.
But listen.
Segment's over.
The wedding segment has reached the climax.
Anyway, basically, this guy. Then there was a big of mess, and I was an usher, and they were trying to find. Ruined the pseudonym already. Anyways, we were trying to clean up the mess because it was quite messy. Then this man comes over, and we presume he was working in the church.
Right.
Now,
what gave it away? The collar?
No, he's just not quite. He's just a random man, as random men do be in churches. But he starts sweeping up, and I'm like, "Can I have it? Can I have the brush to sweep?" He's like, "No, it's fine. It's on me," but in Spanish. And I was like, "Okay, grand." Anyways, long story short, turns out this man was a literal beggar from the. He had a random man that showed up outside the wedding to sweep up, and my uncle thought he worked at the church, right? But he didn't. And not my uncle. He was how would I put this? Like, he was kind of conned into tipping the man. And he later explained that tipping culture in Spain is a bit it's not as great as it in Ireland. You tip a bit less in Spain. Like,
there's no tipping in it.
So then he proceeded to tip this random man who we didn't know €60.
That's not a tip.
I know, it was crazy. But sure, look, it's funny because there's no point me saying, but he actually will, very much so. He's a tight man. I mean, financially speaking, he's lovely, of course.
Sorry, bigger loose in his pockets.
Are you playing
but listen, no, not quite. But listen to this now. He used to, there's this place called Io's, which is a restaurant at the beach. You used to be able to get like one plate of paella and refill it as many times as you want. But what he used to do is get a half portion of paella, or sometimes if you get order a bit of paella, you get an extra plate. So he'd go up and for two people, he'd get the half portion of paella, slide out onto another plate, and go up again and get a full portion. And keep doing that and get free paella. It's an infinite paella hack.
But it's already infinite.
But listen, this is a man who maybe his ways have changed, tipping 60 bob. Anyway, I thought that was mildly amusing.
That's already a ridiculous business model now. Why have a fucking half? How deep is a hole? I'd argue there. A half portion, if it's fucking infinite, what's the point?
Well, listen.
New York.
I'm saying you wouldn't get that. You wouldn't get paella in New York.
I requested this song because my grandmother is listening, so this is. Here's to Kristen. Kristen, hope you enjoy the song.
You said that way too late.
Hurry up.
Oh, that's such a funny thing that's happening.
New York, baby. New York. We're back. Jack Mitchell has just returned from a piss. All is merry. Right, well, speaking of New York, Paris. Ellis.
Yeah, that happened in Paris.
Hang on there, lads.
Hang on, lads. What's this?
Hang on.
Hang on what?
Well, I just ran to the toilet there and
speak close to the mic.
We have we're on a building of about 4 floors here. The toilet's 2 or 3 floors down, and I don't know if it's the time of night or what it is, but I genuinely spent about 30 seconds down there knocking on a door that wasn't this door in. I was on the floor below knocking on the door to get in because the toilet on
God. You're a strange man, isn't it?
I'm not a strange man. I just walked over once.
Embarrassing.
And it was embarrassing.
Embarrassing.
Oh. But you know what I would wonder, given the strange weather here.
Are you trying to segue out with this?
Listen,
I'm not saying
it's okay.
I'm just wondering what the weather would be like in the
well, I guess we'll have to see. Now, to the weather.
Who are you?
Lol Watson, breaking news. Lads, this news comes straight from Shan himself. Believe you me, I'm loving it. Like the Kerry Snail on the Macroom bypass, it is set in stone what is about to happen to the pale. Wipe that puss off your face, bring in the dog. Cut the tea, stir the bread. There's a Cat 5 on the way, with a slathering of thunder and rain. There's been Lol Watson, Trinity FM. At the end of the day, it's night.
Seriously, who are you?
Right, now we've been told that we can't, no one could hear that, and that it was awful audio. So we apologise for that awful radio.
Just there now.
Yeah, I received a message saying that you couldn't hear the weather.
You know what you'll have to do? You have to tune into the recording.
You have to tune into the recording. We should invest in an aux cable of some sort.
There is an aux cable there.
Pass the aux cord.
Just you need to have a phone that has an aux cord.
True.
Yeah.
That's the way it goes, guys.
I
enjoyed it personally.
I enjoy it, and you know what? I'm very impressed with Lyle Watson's prediction there. Like, we do have thunder and rain tonight.
Knowledge of a carryman.
Knowledge, salmon of knowledge. That's what he ate for dinner. I'll tell you that.
Salmon knowledge.
Wasn't the salmon of knowledge we have in common? Yeah.
The shroud of no crack. That's what it was.
No crack is what it was. That's right. Okay. I hate to say it, but it's time for Ellis Byrne hour. It's time for a bit of.
Not even an hour. Ellis Byrne, 25 minutes.
Ellis Byrne, 22 minutes probably. The international man of mystery himself. Tatted man with a lovely cardigan on him.
Very Pat Kenny on radio news. Pat Kenny.
Oh, you dressed for radio.
That's the problem with the country at the moment. Over to you, we do Joe Duffy. And you do be feeling like that, do you? Are you enjoying it?
Tell me this.
And call number one, what do you feel like? Well, yeah, this is my part now. Now I'm on the spotlight.
What do you think is like you're putting on an accent as if you couldn't just speak and be judged?
I'm actually Joe Duffy sounding. I'm actually like a Joe Duffy.
Right, so we've prepared some Joe Duffy type problems for you.
Well, actually, speaking of Joe Duffy type problems, if you're listening and would like to ask Ellis a question, we put up a story on the Instagram. If you send anything in, he will answer it.
He will answer any question.
Any question.
Think about that now.
But there was something that Jack mentioned to me the other day, and it prompted a tale from my family I'd like to share with all the listeners here today.
Oh.
If you wouldn't mind me spinning a stool. Jack mentioned a segment about you know the common phrase, get your tits out.
Oh, get your Brits out, yes, baby.
He wanted to get your Brits out.
This is my favourite time of the week. Get the Brits out.
Get your Brits out.
It prompted a story from my family.
Sorry, Alice, can I play the
I
jingle?
want to share with you all.
Get your Brits out.
I want you to picture this, guys. Can listeners picture this? Picture in your mind? So it's the year 2000, right? There's a wedding on in London. My family are invited to it. My grandmother, God rest her, who was over 6 foot tall, and gone to a wedding in England in the year 2000 with her sister-in-law, who was from Cornamona in Galway, the salt of the earth kind of place. Staying in a small B&B in London, in the Thames. And that B&B now, an Irish accent back then, it kind of painted a target on your back. You know, that's the kind of way it works now. And I just want to know, I want the listeners to know this, while I'm telling this very personal, important story. These two
Jack was just munching into the mic.
Yeah, they're munching skips.
Sorry. That's awful. So rude.
The sign of disrespect there shows this guy.
If I can skip from the corner, you forget to get hear the bag rustling in the back.
No.
It ruins the atmosphere.
I'm sorry. So you're asking.
Very sorry, let's keep going.
Keep going.
The wedding there in London, my grandmother now is a very proud Dublin woman. And her sister-in-law, very proud Connemara woman, staying in the B&B. I have on good authority that at that wedding, my grandmother had 3 bottles of wine to herself. My aunt, her sister-in-law, had 4 bottles of wine to herself. And they were doing nothing. I want people to imagine this now. Imagine you're a B&B owner in the year 2000. You know, the Irish accent still caused a bit of troubles, pun intended. And you wake up at 4 a.m. to the sound of angry Irish voices at your window shouting, "Let me in! Let me in, you bastards!" That's the B&B owner now. What would you do, Jack? That was you. How would you respond to that? Exactly. You wouldn't know what to do.
You said Jack, so I don't know which one you're
talking about. He was looking at you.
I was looking at me, but I was looking at him.
He was looking at you, but listen, you're not witty enough because
you're
fast. Listen, you're floundering.
I'll tell you what that B&B owner did. What that owner did, he rang the police, rang the old Bill. The old Bill showed up now.
I did something. If it was that Irish man outside my window, I'd say there's an English man outside my window. That voice who wants to be Irish.
Oh. Anyway, no need.
The old Bill show up now.
Yes.
My inebriated family.
Oh my God.
Slamming on the door that a B&B wasn't in. My grandmother had this ability to act sober when she was drunk, and I worked very well in this actually. So, old Bill comes, B&B owner comes out. It's all sorted. The story should end there, my friends. The story should end there.
Right.
The story doesn't end there.
Right.
As they're filing in one by one into the B&B, my Aunt Sally turns and in the strongest Galway accent you can muster, says to the old Bill, I'll make one phone call to my friends in the IRA and I'll blow you bastards up. And she says this with no hint of hesitation, with the full scope of what it means to them. Should the old Bill lock her in the back of the van? She's gone. My grandma. That's where the story should end. It doesn't. My grandmother got in the front of the police van and knocked the police out of their own van and started playing music and smoking.
Hardly.
That's the gospel truth. No.
Oh my God.
So impressed by her pure tenacity. There we go. So that's what you mean by get your Brits out. That's the message.
The story should have ended there.
It ended there.
Should have ended a long time ago.
It did.
So the Brits are out of the van.
The Brits are out. Thank God. Should have gone straight to that part. That was probably the most. I wouldn't say the tone was melancholic, but the content wasn't melancholic.
It was rather humorous.
It was rather. I wouldn't have that far now.
That was rather illegal content, really.
A much more developed version of Get Your Brits Out. We usually just like last week we couldn't think of a name for an English person.
Looked up online. Looked up English person online. Jacob Rees-Mogg pops up.
There you go. Beautiful.
This week it's the old Bill. Get them out.
Get them out.
No, from London to Paris.
Yeah.
Oh, that's actually that's reminding me of something.
I'm trying to segue out of this.
No, this has got to do with that.
He's tried to put this up twice.
No. This is London to Paris. We were looking up the other day there. I was looking at Liliane was showing me this train that we saw on Instagram. It's like a lovely old like Scotland Highland train.
Oh yeah.
Very cool looking, very scenic, very like something out of Harry Potter. Guess how much it is for like a night on that?
€500.
Like, keep going, you.
£1.50.
I think it was $3,000 a night.
Jesus.
And you got your 4-course meal, but should we get that for free here?
We do.
No, we were going on their website and they have a whole company. This is a whole company who does this, and they probably do like. I don't think they do those kind of Agatha Christie type the skips could hold off.
Yeah, for 20 minutes.
You can skip them, right? You can eat the whole bag then, okay?
Yeah, 20 minutes.
But $10,000 a night, I think it ended up being for like
on a train.
One night from London to Paris.
You're not sleeping on a train.
Well, they have like beds and it's like really lush. Still not fucking sleeping on the thing. Anyways, I just thought that was fucking nuts.
And this is the second attempt Jack has made to
segue away from Paris.
Yeah,
go on.
What happened in Paris?
We met in Paris.
We met in Paris. I have on good authority that your opinion will be changed in Paris. You walked me quite gradually.
I thought you were a prick before.
Now you know it.
Now I know it.
Now you don't think it, you know it. Jack, you've got a nickname among my friends.
Yeah, go on.
The nickname as well.
Jack Mitchell,
what is it?
Jack Mitchell, yeah, because Jack really has no nicknames.
And what do you call them among friends?
He doesn't do cool enough things. What do they call me in France?
What do they call you?
Is it floor guy?
Floor guy.
Yeah, it's floor guy. Yeah.
I found this fine specimen of a man wrapped around the toilet. I only met him 24 hours previously, and I'm here helping him up.
You met me before that, but you only got to know me.
I only got to know you.
When did you met before? What was the first time
you met before at the event
we met
announcing
this trip.
Oh,
little did we know
that got to the trip.
Little did we know that on said trip would I be looking after you like a baby,
and
a fawn.
And I saw more of you than I ever bargained for on that trip.
You would, so did the gym people. The gym saw a lot of me.
I saw the other end.
That's not a joke, but I'm dying for a skate. Jesus.
I saw the dark side of the moon that time.
You saw the face of God, and God was not pretty.
No.
But yeah, what happened? So why is he called Floor Guy?
He's called Floor Guy because I think it was the very first night in Paris, a 3-day trip.
Yeah.
I came back to our bedroom to find Mr. Mitchell, who before that had given off the impression of a very stoic, respectable, intelligent gentleman. I found this gentleman entrenched in the bathroom, laid on his back like he's been shot.
Yeah.
Legs akimbo.
They weren't akimbo, they were crossed.
Akimbo crossed.
They were
over the toilet.
Crossed, so opposite 100.
And it looked like he had been shot and left for dead.
Yeah, well, I would argue that like a car sick. Well, I think because the thing was like, I know, right? Yeah.
There's no way to explain this.
Like I was sick in the toilet, I was ill, and I passed out. And like, look, like many men stepped out over me that night and didn't help me up. You didn't tell us. You're a good man.
I would have thought there.
You definitely would have.
You scared of her first year.
Perfect. The images. We go into
the images.
So there's a corridor, and the door to the room was for some reason open. The door to the actual hospital dorm was open. Then and there's a corridor.
It wasn't open, Jack.
You can see in.
It wasn't open. You you could see in because
Someone
Lee
does
left
something.
the room and left the door, and as it closed, and I
Very
walked
slowly
past,
behind you.
Well, you can see in. I got that
for
problem.
a
You
second
can see
the man
in,
saw me.
and then but your head was your feet were towards the toilet. Your head was in the hall. Was like I was
two rooms
in the
at
room.
You just
yeah.
saw a pale
But
hand.
why were your feet towards the toilet? Did you like fall
I
backwards or
was
something?
sat,
How?
I was
You were
sat,
sat
like
up.
probably with me, like, what do you mean, why are my feet towards the toilet? Use your head, man. I was sat facing the toilet.
If you're facing the other way, I would be more confused. And if you saw
Yeah,
his
if my legs
legs.
were backwards, that means that I would have been, like, literally doing the downward dog.
Can I just say that
that would be impressive.
I'm in a group chat with all my friends, and the minute I mentioned floor guy, they've all texted in floor guy.
Yeah.
With a number of exclamation points. You're famous. You're loved.
Yeah, love for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I know.
You know, if I go by Jack too, you know.
There's not so many Jacks. There's only one floor guy.
Yeah, Shane used to call me floor guy. Now he's going to call me floor guy again. You know what he has? Lovely eyelashes, lads. That's something we can do.
Shane's our most loyal listener. He's listened to every single one.
He's
He'll enjoy this, or he actually hate this.
He has lovely eyelashes. He told me you had lovely legs, and that's how I got to comment on
You
his eyelashes.
do have nice legs, I must be honest with you.
Just stop.
You see him now, bloodied
No,
after a
you
fucking
gotta
5%
my
match.
leg and my knee is actually like, I'm not going to say it, but
Yeah.
Top out.
it's cut, but I was like, it's acting up like tonight, like it's gammy.
Oh. Oh.
But no, yeah, Paris, not my best occasion, but
And we're
in
going
all
to Edinburgh
fairness,
in January, so you can redo it. You can
no,
repeat
I
it.
won't redo it. I'll have much better experience, better air over there, cleaner, you know.
The air is the problem, of
It's
course.
it was the air. I'd argue
The
the
18
air.
pints.
I'd argue it was the. I didn't have 18 pints. I think I had 2 pints, a bottle of wine, and like that would not get me fucked up anyway.
That's
So
the only man.
what happened was, we got the taxi back though, and I was facing the wrong way in the taxi for 15 minutes, and I felt sick, and then I got sick outside, and then that just made me.
I'm hearing a lot of excuses, Jack, to be honest with you. I think you should really commit
Well,
to
like,
your floor guy bit.
is there excuses or is there truth?
That's the question. Are you doing like Alex Jones now? The truth? They're turning the frog
big
scale?
reach now, my friend. Well, look. Either way, that's the Parisian tale. I see story responses.
Yeah, well, first of all, I have a bit of a question, right? So, a bit of a question. The world is full of many interesting cultures and groups of people. If you had to pick one group you didn't want listening to your radio show, which would it be? Well, first the Jack.
Jack, a group. What kind of group am I?
So I would say it again. The world is full of many interesting cultures and groups of people. If you had to pick one group you didn't want listening to your radio show, which would it be?
I did one earlier, didn't I? Oh yeah, scholars.
So, but, Ellis,
I'd say the Amish. I think the Amish wouldn't appreciate
Oh,
it.
that's a very good answer. You wouldn't want them to listen because they wouldn't fucking listen, would they?
listen.
Did you hear this one? What is this fella doing?
That's
Yeah,
all.
and they'd see you,
What?
and they get one look at you, and they'd go back out the door.
Say, this cut name, this cardigan, everything seems great.
I don't think the cardigan would be the thing. I think that'd be the one thing that might keep them.
Face.
It's everything else.
Everything
All I'm
else.
saying
Fibre
is
might be.
count yourselves lucky that I was the one asking that question, listeners.
Well, Jack, who would you? Which group? I'll make it harder for you. Which racial group would you exclude from listening to the podcast?
Oh well, which racial group?
And you had to pick at least one. You want to add more?
So do they have to be minorities?
Yes.
Nobody said that.
I think most people are minorities, so I don't get that. If we get any racial group, it's only minorities.
No, not not.
Oh, like this is a joke.
But it depends what country. Like I'd be a minority if I was out in Asia. Like
That's a fair point.
fucking hell.
I'd be like if I was. I'm not.
Jack, we
Like,
don't need you to start.
Are there any more questions we can
but listen, I'll go with the leprechaun.
The leprechaun.
So anyone, and actually
Leprechaun
no, I'm not going to make that
offends.
joke. That would offend people.
Go on, say it.
Anyone under the height of 5'4".
That's a lot of people.
Under 5'4".
Yeah.
Sure, that's.
My friend, a good friend of mine is 4'11", same height as Brother Teresa.
So is my
I often
girlfriend. She's
say
also like 5 something.
A very good friend of mine is 4'11". I often say to her, "You have the same height as Brother Teresa."
Well,
And she doesn't like air apples.
you said her all the time. I used it twice.
Listen, we got some. So we had some questions and we get some answers.
Okay.
So
Can I read one of these out,
so a question from one listener saying heckle.
Heckle. I think I know who that is.
Okay, can you guess who it is? Go on.
I don't know if I can name fingers and point
You
names.
can.
I believe that was a Marnie Davis,
It was indeed.
an American friend, one American who I must say I enjoy.
Oh,
One
The
American.
exception that proves the rule.
God, this tiara is hurting my head.
Yeah, but you look beautiful there.
Thank you. I'm very
The
tired.
world is beautiful.
Right, so when is the book coming out? I'm assuming that's aimed at us, Jared.
No, that's
Is it Ellis?
That's Ellis. Well, all these questions are for Ellis.
I am a writer. So
He's writing The Demented.
Is there a book coming out?
I do write part time.
Okay, when's the book coming out? So
Before I die, hopefully.
oh, great.
No, I could write a biography. Just, last chapter leave blank.
Oh, lovely. I am an actual question you will like here.
Okay.
Hair routine.
Hair
What's the
routine.
Hair routine. There's a second part to this too.
I sleep on it funny.
Oh,
And then it just kind of quaffs itself in its night. I wind it down.
and
I got a fine head of hair if it was
you do. No, you have a nice.
But unlike yours, yours goes down, mine goes up, so you get a quaff.
Oh,
I get a peacock
like
quaff.
don't question whether mine grows up. Did I show you the picture of me? I used to have a quiff back in the day. Like
Quiff.
holy fuck, we saw a picture there the other week.
Let's
Oh, like,
when
talk about a foot of hair on the top of my head, up ridiculous stuff. Yours looks great at the moment. Grey silver to it.
there's enough talk about how it grows.
Yeah, this is one for you actually, Jack. I think because I think you'll come with a better answer to this. What's the most annoying common phrase thing that people say?
Yeah.
Do you have a pet peeve with one of them? I feel like you'd be full of them.
Oh, you know what? I'm
can
actually
tell
not
you
a cunt, so no.
Well, that's great.
No.
Because I won right off. The top.
Go on.
One of my biggest pet peeves is have you ever seen Americans spell the word losing? Loosing.
Losing.
Losing.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
is not a word at all.
Yeah.
It's
They
not a
also
word.
spell grey with an A, which is very annoying.
They couldn't spell what?
They spell, this American spell grey, Gray.
Oh, well, that's different. That's like an American spelling. This is literally they
misspell
misspell
the
the
word
fucking
losing.
word, and they're just like.
Well, what's the difference?
Losing. What's the difference?
I mean,
American spelling and doing that, you know.
losing and
Well, in that it's not an American spelling, you know. Ooh, this is not one for you, Ellis. This is one for both of us, Jack.
Right.
It's the sexual tension between the Jacks is palpable in the studio as it is in the PR photos. While Ellis, I actually not.
This is for
No,
Ellis.
no, it is a question for Ellis.
Yeah, all these are geared towards Ellis.
It's
You're
just
just
at the end of
you're
the Yeah, I know, Jack.
you're just sick
Sure,
of not being
I'm
center of
looking-
attention anymore.
I'm looking at you,
Guys,
and
look.
you're looking at me, and I see that tiara in your head, and I'm saying, Jesus, why did Princess
This
Di have
is
to
the
go?
TFM studio chair that I found on the desk.
Well, I think being a witness to it is something beautiful.
Yeah.
Honestly, this wonderful.
We did just hold each other's eyes there for the last 30 seconds straight.
It was
Hope we
intense
do anything
eye
we're holding
contact.
tonight.
It was very intense eye contact.
Or breath for one. Or breath.
Our breath, ooh. Now I've been hit with it was for Ellis, you fool. Yeah, we got there in the end, didn't we? Yeah. Anyways.
These are all the questions. Are you done
No,
with
there was
that?
only 3 of them, yeah, sorry, Jack. I just got.
Are there any good ones?
Those were all of them.
Oh. Or
Yeah.
from the listeners.
Or show the distance numbers.
Well, thank you to all who sent in. Anyways, we've little bit of time. Sure, look.
Or we have some more questions coming in.
Oh, do we?
Oh, what's the question?
Well,
One says, "No, dog."
It's a very important question. As
Right.
it is.
If an actual good one comes in, we'll get to it.
Who do you know that would cause a 16-car pileup, Ellis?
Who do I know personally?
Who do you know? Yes,
I would
that.
have to say Marnie Davis because she's American.
Oh, you've missed it. You've missed it. You never
You
remember
failed.
the journey down the car.
Oh yes,
16
I remember this. As a comment that was made, it caused quite an uproar, and I was blamed for the comment that was made.
Go on,
I don't
please
know I
elaborate.
don't know if I'm allowed to name.
You are. You can name names. So Nisha asked it in.
Okay, so I don't know if I'm allowed. Actually.
You are a name. You are a name.
What's the story?
I was in the car going in to see Jack with friends of his missus is one of them, and 2 friends, a female and a male. And a male passed a comment about the bodily autonomy of another passenger in the car.
What?
Autonomy.
Just say the fucking word.
Likening her to a 12-year-old boy. And that comment was then blamed at me because I didn't understand the comment. And I asked him to explain further, which caused quite a bit of upset.
Oh, this is a car drive down to fucking Kerry.
So there was no getting away from it.
No, it wasn't. This is the car drive down
There
to
was
my
no
grandmother's
escape.
wake.
Yeah, so it was really a hard day for
driving
us all.
to Kerry, you know.
No, Limerick. No, but you're missing the key part of the story. You said that she would cause a 16-car pileup or
I
something.
think anyone, if they were to flash a motorway coming on, would cause a large pileup.
You've just jumped a few steps there. What?
I think if anyone was driving,
Yeah, but you didn't
If
explain
anyone-
that.
if anyone-
You've just
if
jumped
anyone
to
was
somebody
driving-
went from it. Now it's
If anyone was
boy is
driving
flashing
a car.
traffic.
if anyone were to flash someone in a motorway, I believe the male drivers would cause a 16-car pileup.
Even if it was a 12-year-old girl.
I don't.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, boy.
That either one is.
Oh, God, no.
Freudian slip there.
Freudian slip.
Listen.
Oh, you are terrible.
Oh,
this is derailing quickly.
This went down much quicker than I thought it would.
No, but I'm still having a bit of fun. Look,
Brilliant.
we got to Nathan's question. That was a lovely moment this week. Agendas for the rest of the year. We as you said, we have Edinburgh coming up now in
January.
That is it.
Edinburgh has seen nothing yet.
They've seen nothing until they've seen you, my man.
You and I do
nothing at all.
I have more tattoos and confidence.
The men of Paris. I'm assuming Mr. Bean is not joining us on this trip.
I don't get the joke.
No, you don't get the joke.
Oh, Liam Bean. I thought you meant the actual Mr. Bean.
Why would he be doing this?
I don't know. Who reckons? You never know.
Look,
do you have anything else you'd like to say, Ellis, while you're here?
I gotta say that
Any other
I
stories?
hated every second I was here. It really ruined the allure that Trinity FM had, seeing used to eat skips and pitch yourself laughing.
yeah. Oh, and before we go as well, I'd just like to say a bit of a shout out to the show I was just at there. I forgot to say when I came in, it was a great out show there. Brian, the guy that had me on his show there, he's the original 4 till 5 now tomorrow.
You on a show? Are you on the show again tomorrow?
I'm not on the show tomorrow, but his band Pixel Clarity, great show there now.
I've seen that a lot in your story.
Yeah, Pixel Clarity had a great show there in Portobello. Very good songs, very good crack. Did a giveaway in the middle of the show. Great vibe, great band.
Oh, sorry. I thought you meant the radio show you were on.
No,
Yeah.
he hosts that as well.
You're double dipping.
Oh.
His band though, Pixel Clarity.
You're double dipping,
Check them out.
yeah.
Very good, very good.
Two radio shows in your belt or something.
He's a good man. No, he's a good man. But no, I was reminded because I was thanking him for a great time. I'm going to thank you now, Ellis, for great guest.
I hope I'm invited back. I love being here.
Sure. Only time will tell.
I
I
love
don't
being
see
here.
why not.
We'll see what we're
Thank you
guilty
for
of.
listening. Shout out to all my friends who listened in today.
Yeah, of course. And look,
I had a good outro there, and you.
I had a good time.
Listen, I've been Jack.
I've also been Jack.
And you've been jacked off.
Ooh, you've been jacked off, my boy. Isn't that it?
That's it indeed.
Ooh, lovely music.
What do we get to tonight? Let's see.
One else. We'll be out. We'll be out.
Spoof. Right. Good night.
Woo! There you go, Jack. That was a great thing.
Ah, bollocks.
Mitchell.
Hello, bud.
Nice one.
Did you enjoy yourself, Ellis?
I love that.
You good time? Sorry, it was such a mess. This week.